Speaking of gimmicks, on to our next bit.
Yeah. So we've been talking for a while about gaming music and things that either a video game sounded like it was inspired by a popular song or vice versa. Today, we have what I would call an Inception level situation where the song by the Hives called Walk Idiot Walk is clearly inspired by Sonic 2 Metropolis Zone. And I'm going to take a break here and have you listen to it if this is the extended clip. Right off the bat, Jim, just listening to those two, is there any doubt at all that that's not the same exact melody, rhythm, whatever you want to call it?
It's definitely the same chord progression. It's a very simple 3/4 chord progression that, as we're about to discuss, has been used before. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can like the tempo is obviously a little bit different, but for the most
Sure.
part, it's the exact same chord progression. But it's not like the most complicated one in the world, so I can't be like
Do do do
do
do
do
do
do do do do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's nothing like crazy, but it gets. Man, I actually missed the Hives. I fucking forgot about them.
Yeah. But now here's where it gets a little interesting. Part of finding this out was that some people suggested that the Hives were not copying Sonic 2, even though the tempo is more in line with Sonic 2 versus
Bit more.
From The Who, I Can't Explain. Now that's a much slower tempo. It's like just slightly off, but the general
It's
melody
the same
is
chord
still
progressions.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, then the question becomes, okay, did Sonic 2, the people who developed that music, were they inspired by who? The Who. To me, man, that's really close, and I kind of feel like you said, since it is simple, could it just be coincidence that it was that close, or do you think there was just someone programming that music that just happened to be the Who fan?
I mean, it's very possible. Like, the whole British invasion scene was like worldwide popular, so who knows? It could have been a guy who always just had that beat stuck in his head and was like, "Oh, this will work in this level," and
Now,
he
here's
just
a
fussed
question.
around with the tempo a little bit and added a little bit more here and there. But I would
What?
say the Hives is probably more closely related to the Who because the Hives are kind of a throwback band. I would think that would be
Sure.
the more direct influence, but the Sonic comparison's uncanny.
I mean, but also the Hives, you figure that song came out in what, like 05, 06?
Yeah, it was like
So
04,
somewhere.
05, yeah.
So they were pretty young guys. Like, there's also a good chance they grew up playing games.
For sure. Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, but you're right. What's the chances that a throwback British band is not covering a classic British band and a song like that? So that's probably more likely. But man, I feel like that tempo and everything is so much closer to Sonic 2 than the Who. But
Yeah, I mean, the Who's a little bit more of a stretch. It's just the same progression, but yeah, I like I said, you can see the comparisons there.
but no, this is another really just clearly
Now,
spot
if you
on
want some
one.
entertainment, watch the video for the Who song.
Oh,
My God,
it's something, Jim.
it is as white can be. But it
When were they out in the
late '60s.
late 60s, right?
They've been
I thought it
around
was
forever.
Like mid 60s. Interesting.
Credit to Daltrey,
But
he
yeah.
can still fucking sing too, even at his like '70s age.
But we, I actually do have a good, solid backlog. But if you guys ever know of something or have heard of something, please send us this way, because part of the fun is actually trying to do a little research and dig into it and see if there is any concrete evidence that somebody admits to, yeah, when I was doing this, I was inspired by yada, 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 or, where the connections can be. So
Yeah, for
just
sure.
a little fun bit of trivia for you guys.
And